incurable disease. If a person suffers from an incurable disease, so mercy killing is also permitted, what called euthanasia. And it is a thing that we are still struggling to attain. Even now there is no permission to do the mercy killing. And the people undergo suffering due to incurable diseases. But in Utopia, the people who suffer incurable diseases will be given mercy killing or euthanasia. And marriages in Utopia are not very compulsory. People are not forced to marry. And married people are considered wise. And unmarried people are treated with respect. And they are called holy. The married people are considered wise. And unmarried people are considered holy. And the age limit for men to marry is 22, and for the women to marry is 18. And remember, these are very specific things. The men are permitted to marry at the age of 22, and the women at the age of 18. And partners are selected after careful consideration. So partners selected after very careful consideration. Even the boy and the girl see each other naked. They are permitted to see each other naked, in fact, to avoid hiding any deformity. So it seems to be highly revolutionary. The girl and the boy are permitted to see each other naked before marriage. In fact, to prevent any of them hiding any kind of physical deformity. And married couple have to be faithful to each other. And in Utopia, adultery is punished with slavery. And divorce is allowed in Utopia by mutual consent. Actually, Thomas More stood against the divorce of Henry VIII. But in Utopia, we come to find Thomas More speaking in favor of divorce. Divorce allowed in Utopia by mutual consent. And in Utopia, war is considered beastly. So they don't like war, and it is considered as beastly. But military training is given to the people as a precaution. Very interestingly, when soldiers proceed to the battlefield, they take their families also with them. It means that if the soldier will die, his family also will die, that there will be no war widows or war orphans. And Utopians believe in gods, in various gods. So there were several religions. There were moon worshippers, sun worshippers, planet worshippers, and monotheists. And it is in this context we come to find that Thomas More was an adamant Catholic who stood against Protestantism and Anglicanism. And while functioning as the Lord Chancellor, he ordered for the execution of many on charges of heresy. But in Utopia we come to find Thomas More speaking of religious tolerance. In Utopia, the people are permitted to believe in any kind of gods. There are sun worshippers, moon worshippers, and monotheists, and the people are free to worship gods. But atheism not permitted in Utopia. And Utopians go to the place of worship. They go to the church on the first day and on the last day of the month. They go to the first day to pray for a happy month. And they go to the church on the last day, in fact, for Thanksgiving. And in Utopia, confession is made by wife before husband. And husband also makes confession before his wife. And the priests are permitted to marry. And women are also permitted to become priests. And these were very revolutionary ideas. The priests were permitted to marry. And the women were also made into priests. And in Utopia, the wife confesses before the husband and the husband confesses before the wife. And the children make confession before their parents. And women are eligible to become priests. So when Thomas More was working as the Lord Chancellor, so he was an adamant Catholic, and so he ordered for the execution of many on charges of heresy. So he was not tolerant. But in Utopia we come to find him speaking tolerance. And there are many revolutionary things taking place in Utopia. So the people are supposed to permit the priests marry. The male priests are permitted to marry. And the female are also made into priests. And euthanasia is also permitted in Utopia. And it is a thing the modern times also struggle to obtain. Euthanasia or mercy killing. In Utopia, they permitted euthanasia, mercy killing. If a person suffers from an incurable disease, he was put to mercy killing. And More was a darting visionary. And he was far ahead of his times. And this is the reason why we consider Thomas More as a great revolutionary writer who was far ahead of his times. And thank you for the time being.